Welcome to Political Musings on this day before Christmas Eve. Well, today I want to wish all of you happy holidays, whatever holidays you celebrate this year. My family is a mixed blessing family. I am Jewish. My husband is not. His family is not. His father is devout Catholic. So, and to be honest, I've celebrated Christmas my whole life. I know I don't have an ounce of anything but Ashkenazi Jew, according to my own DNA. It didn't even say like 99%. It said 100%. But, everybody's parents has their sob story of when they were a kid, they had to walk 10 miles through the snow, uphill both ways to go to school or something like that. Well, my mother's sob story was that because her parents were in the jewelry business, they had a jewelry store. Uh, she did not have they were very, very busy this time of year. And so she would take her little red wagon and go get a Christmas tree and bring it home and set it up and decorate it all by herself because, yeah. So from the time she was a little girl, my mother had a Christmas tree. Even though there are no Christians in this story, it's not a Jewish thing at all. No, um, that's what my mom did. And so it became a thing with us. And in fact, my uncle David, my dad's brother, who lived in Houston, he was a big macher, very important person, president of the congregation of Temple Beth Israel in Houston, which is the largest Reform congregation in the state of Texas and one of the oldest. It might be the oldest. So here my uncle is this big mocker in the synagogue in Houston. But in Beaumont, his brother has lots of Christmas decorations and a big Christmas party. And he used to joke about, my brother in Beaumont, he's got the biggest Christmas tree in town. So he went to he came to our house with the kids and the family. He had two adopted children and brought them to our house one year for Christmas. He walks in the front door and said, "Oh my God, it's true. You do have the biggest tree in town." I mean, we had really high ceilings in a big house, and so we had a very big Christmas tree. It was an artificial one. It was tinsel, and it was really cool. And the ornaments looked pretty because we didn't have a mantle on our fireplace. Instead of hanging stockings, we had these little fold-up sleighs with that my there were wooden, and my mom would fill those up with candy and little trinkets and things. And so that was how we celebrate. I always laugh at there's a line in the movie Driving Miss Daisy, where Morgan Freeman says, "I've always loved your daughter's Christmas parties," and she said, "You ought to. You're the only Gentile there." That was our house at Christmas. But it, right, we had a big Christmas party, big Christmas dinner. All our Jewish relatives in all their fancy clothes would come over, and we'd have a big dinner, and we'd open presents, and we had a big tree and lots of decorations. When I said something to my mother of blessed memory about this, she said, "I would never have that gaudy sleigh and reindeer outside my house." So everything else with that, she was not objecting to the fact that I was saying, yes, our very Jewish family celebrated Christmas with trees and decorations and a party and all of our Jewish relatives. And the only people there that weren't Jewish, the only Christians in the room, were the people that worked for us. So, yes, that's what that was. So her only objection was, no, that tacky sleigh. She would never do anything so tacky. So I want to wish all of you, whatever you're celebrating this year, maybe you celebrate Festivus. Well, or maybe you don't.
Thomas. The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it. You.
So we're going to go with the airing of grievances today. We will have our own Festivus celebration. Because I got a lot of problems with the incoming administration, and you're going to hear about them. But first, I want to talk about something beautiful that President Biden did. He commuted the sentences of 37 of the 40 death row inmates to life sentences. Now, the 3 that he did not commute were Dylan Roof, that's the Charleston shooter, the AME church, the kid that went in there, and after sitting down and letting them pray with him and them being so kind to him, he then went and shot up a bunch of them. And of course, the right turned him into a hero. Because the right seems to be really into white supremacists lately. The second person was the Boston Marathon bomber. I'm not going to pronounce his name because it's Dzhokhar is the first name. I have no idea how you pronounce that. And then Tsameev, and I also do not know how to pronounce that. That's his name. You know how I'm talking about, the Boston Marathon bomber, who they didn't turn into a hero because, he wasn't racist enough. It's only okay when you shoot black people or Jewish people. Robert Bowers is the third. He was the Tree of Life shooter at the synagogue in Pennsylvania. And I so remember that. It really hit home. There was a rash of shootings all over the world at shootings and bombings at synagogues when Trump got elected the first time. And it's only getting worse. Speaking of which, so, bravo to the president for doing that. Now, I do want to talk about Panama. Apparently, the former president, now president-elect, threatened to take back Panama. He just doesn't understand civics, does he? He's never read a history book. He doesn't get that. No, we don't just take it back. This was a treaty that we signed, and so the Panamanians president said in response to Trump that, quote, every square meter of the Panama Canal and the surrounding area belongs to Panama and will continue belonging so, as was President Molino in a recorded statement released on X, adding that Panama's sovereignty and independence are non-negotiable. The Panama Canal is quite important, and Trump just said he thinks he can just go around taking shit that's not his. And he thinks he can break treaties and break the law and keep doing these kinds of things, and nothing's going to happen because, what does he know? Well, along with that, Trump decided that we should seize ownership and control of Greenland in a tweet. We only have one president at a time. That's the way it works here. And he is not currently president, but he is doing all kinds of things that endanger our national security and making all kinds of statements that are utterly ridiculous. So now he says the United States feels that the ownership and control of Greenland is absolutely necessary. Let me repeat that. This is a quote from the tweet. The United States of America feels that ownership and control of Greenland is absolutely necessary. This is about his pick for Ken Howery as ambassador to the Kingdom of Denmark. He's a world-renowned entrepreneur, investor, and public servant who served our nation brilliantly during my first term as ambassador to Sweden, where he led efforts to increase defense, security, and economic cooperation between our companies. As co-founder of PayPal. Okay, PayPal. Musk. So this is one of Musk's first partners. See, Musk didn't create anything. He didn't build anything. All he did was take the money from his dad's apartheid, slave labor emerald mines and buy a bunch of shit. So he bought PayPal. He didn't create PayPal. He bought it. He didn't create Tesla. He bought it. He didn't design Starlink. He paid these people and employed these people. He just spent a lot of money. But I mean, we're he thinks he can just buy back Greenland. Well, not buy back, because it was never ours. It always belonged to the Danes. Yeah. So what do I mean, it kind of makes me think of Princess Bride. Or not.
Do you want me to send you back to where you were? Unemployed in Greenland?
So the Prime Minister of Greenland said to Trump, "We are not for sale." It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Well, the Matt Gaetz report was released, accusing him of all kinds of things. Apologies, I'm having a little trouble with coughing here this morning. I'm just going to go down a list here that's in the report. The following chart summarizes payments made by Representative Gaetz to Mr. Greenberg and to the women via peer-to-peer payment platforms or checks. So woman 1, $63,836.58 between 2017 and 2020. Woman number 2, $4,189.82. This was between 2019 and 2020. Woman number 3, $2,651.69 between 2018 and 2019. Woman number 4, $6,198.75. That was 2017 to 2019. Woman number 5, $4,025.27 between 2018 and 2019. Woman number 6, $5,251.23, 2018 to 2019. You've got $200 to a woman in 2018, $600 to a woman in 2017. Another 1,280, 2018 to 2020, 400 to woman number 10 in 2018, 500 to woman number 11 in 2017, 2,135 to a woman in 2018 to 2019, and then to Joel Greenberg, that's his pimp, $3,950 from 2018-2019. We have testimony from these women. Why is this person allowed to be in Congress? He should be in prison. He's broken both federal and state laws. He should be in prison. I don't understand. Not to mention, yeah, he was in on the whole January 6th plot. So he shouldn't have been allowed to hold elect office. This is the thing that makes me crazy about Merrick Garland and the people at Justice after January 6th. They started at the bottom and worked their way up. And there are people currently in Congress I know Matt Gaetz just quit, but there were people that should not have been allowed to run for office in 2022 because of their participation in insurrection, because they participated in the planning and execution of January 6, 2021. Because according to the 14th Amendment, if you participate in insurrection against the United States, you cannot hold office in this country. And so, allegedly, that should have included Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz was just reelected. He shouldn't have been allowed to be on the ballot. Trump shouldn't have been allowed to be on the ballot. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Jim Jordan. There's a whole list of them. They are traitors to this country. There is no difference between them and the Confederates that were not allowed to be in elective office. Everyone understood that Jefferson Davis, based on the 14th Amendment, was not allowed to be an elected official ever again in the United States of America. We understood that. And I think one of the biggest failings of our Justice Department is they did not go after for insurrection all of these people that were involved. They should have been convicted for that, and it should have been the people at the top. It should have started with the people who were elected. It should have started with the people who were elected and or running for office. That's where they should have started, because they shouldn't have been allowed to run. They should be in prison. But at a minimum, they should be elected official. If you have worked against the United States of America and attempted to stop the peaceful transfer of power, no, you don't get to come back from that. So, but this guy, Matt Gaetz, what a scumbag. There's video of him having sex with a 17-year-old girl. We have video evidence. And, it's funny, when they said they're going to release it, Marjorie Taylor Greene said, well, we should just released everybody's, everybody that participated in, Epstein's stuff and Diddy stuff. And I'm like, okay, sure. Because guess what? Democrats will say, you know what? we'll let you hang out to dry. We're fine. We're fine with taking down a few Democrats when we take down these pedophiles. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not having, Clinton's record. This is Bill Clinton. And oh, by the way, I am so sick of the women's reputation getting destroyed when it's the men who are the perpetrator. Bill Clinton, it seems like for Bill Clinton's scandals, the only one that paid was Hillary. And that's absurd. That's absurd. She's not the one that was, involved with Epstein. It was He was the one doing all the horrible stuff. So yeah, let's take down Clinton. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with taking down some Democrats while we take down all the people involved. At top of the list should be Donald Trump. How many accusers does he have? How many women were willing to go to court to prove it? It's double digits. And also, he tried to end our democracy. And some of you stupids still voted for him. Still voted for him. One of the things this time of year, I know a lot of you in the next couple of days are going to have to deal with your MAGA. I'm sure, like me, you have MAGA family members that you're avoiding. But maybe you can't avoid them at Christmas. Well, there's all kinds of different ways that you can do that. And I think you should. I think you should. I think you should work on how to talk to him. I had a chain text from, or I had a text stream that included all of my sisters and my nieces and nephews and my kids. My sisters, two of my sisters, both of whom ran for public office this year. One ran for Congress as a Republican in Santa Monica, and one ran for state legislature in Missouri as a Republican. And they were defending, I'm just going to say it, Nazis. They were defending Claudia was saying there was no January 6th, it was a Democratic plot. Okay, let's just break that down. How insanely stupid is that? So Democrats wanted to stop the transfer of power in an election we won. That would be like Trump doing a January 6th, this January 6th. It makes no sense, right? Plus, we have not just the violence that occurred that day, which we have on film, which a lot of the perpetrators of January 6th posted their own videos of themselves breaking the law. And my sister had the nerve to say that one of them, I think it was Enrique Tarrio, all he did, he wasn't even there on January 6th. He just posted a tweet. It's 1776. Okay, again, you've got a PhD in neurobiology. You're not a stupid person. Think this through. Think this through. In order for Enrique Tarrio to even get indicted, evidence of a crime has to be presented. You have to have enough presented to a grand jury for the grand jury to say, yes, go ahead. Because if all it was a tweet, they would have no-billed it. That's not enough to get an indictment. Sorry. And then there was a trial and a conviction, and a jury, once again, found him guilty. And I say this with all the love in my heart. Stop defending Nazis. Stop it. There are no good Nazis. And there certainly are good nowadays Nazis, new Nazis. To that effect, we have Musk endorsing the AF, the AfD. This is Germany's new Nazi party. Because of course he is. Of course, Musk is supporting the new Nazi party. Apparently, it triggered outrage in Berlin after he endorsed the far-right German political party Alternative for Germany, or AfD. Alternative für Deutschland. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. I know Deutschland is pronounced. I mean, I'm not sure the German way to pronounce alternative and food. According to Musk, he posted on X, only AfD can save Germany. The new Nazi party, of course, apartheid Musk is endorsing Nazis. Again, y'all, there are no good Nazis. There are no good Nazis. I don't care if they're Nazis in the past or Nazis now. Nazis are not good. It shouldn't be controversial to say that. It just shouldn't. I swear, it's so ridiculous. It's so utterly ridiculous what is going on. Why? And why are my Jewish family members supporting neo-Nazis? I don't get it. Why are they apologizing for neo-Nazis? I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, I think I'm going to cut things short. You know what? Let's do a little discussing of some political holiday songs. Normally I would play them this time of year, but you know, we're not playing music anymore, except for my overture, which we're licensed to do. And that is some of the political songs for the holidays. One of my favorites is from the Kinks. They have a song, Father Christmas. And the chorus of the song is, Father Christmas, give me some money, save all your toys for the little rich boys. And then there's Elf's Lament from the Bare Naked Ladies. And the song is from the point of view of an elf working under terrible conditions, and really it talks about it. This is all about workers' rights, and you know how we have these manufacturing plants, it's particularly in China, where they're, you know, the Uyghurs are being put in camps and forced to, you know, make all these products, all the junk that we get that's in all our stores and on Amazon and whatnot. And again, they're made by servers. So then you've got Happy Christmas War is Over. That was from John and Yoko. There's any number of great songs. One that I found that's more recent is Macy Gray's All I Want for Christmas is a whole lot of things, and it's about peace. Did you know that the Little Drummer Boy, that song, uh, oh, wait, that's not the right one. But there are anti-war songs that are Christmas songs. There are um, songs about all kinds of things. I One of the things I like to make fun of, because it's so odd, is many of the songs that we associate with Christmas, not necessarily the carols, but the like golden age of Hollywood kind of songs, like White Christmas and Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, Holly Jolly Christmas, Silver Bells. All of these songs were actually written by Jews. Yeah. So your Christmas songs were written by Jews. Oh well. Oh well. That's one of the things. But you know what? Because let's face it, Hanukkah is not an important holiday. On the Jewish calendar, Hanukkah ranks up there with, well, it's not as important as Tu B'Shvat, which is Jewish Arbor Day. So Hanukkah is it just gets a lot of attention because it happens around the same time of year as Christmas. And so therefore, they had to come up with something for the Jewish kids, because the Christian kids were getting a lot of love and a lot of stuff, a lot of food, a lot of presents. And so we had to do our version. But honestly, Lewis Black got it right. We might get through the first. I almost never remember to light candles every night. I don't. But whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate, I want to wish you happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Solstice, Yule, Hanukkah, whatever it is that you're celebrating this time of year. Maybe you celebrate Festivus. But whatever you're celebrating, I want to wish you a happy, happy holiday and a joyous season. And may all the food that you eat be delicious, and the presents you receive the ones you were hoping for. And may we have peace on earth and goodwill to all of you. That's all I've got for today. As I remind you every week, remember, get registered, get informed, get politically active, and go vote. And if you don't have anything nice to say, come sit by me. Happy Festivus!